Well, good morning. Today is Tuesday, September 11th, and all of us know exactly where we were on this day, unless you're very, very young. You remember where it was. Significant things in history you just remember. I remember that when President Kennedy was shot, I was in history class, and Mr. Galinsky, our gym teacher, came in, and he was just so wrought with grief that he told us, he said, the president of Texas was just killed. And then I remember turning to the girl next to me and I said, Texas doesn't have presidents. And then it kind of hit me that, President Kennedy was shot and everybody was all upset and crying and we all went home. And I remember watching the funeral on TV. And then I remember seeing Oswald get shot. We were just getting home from church and we just walked in the house and it was live TV. They had no 10-second delay back then. And I saw Oswald get shot. So those are significant things in history that I remember. And I do remember on 9/11, I was working in the mailroom and I was opening mail and we were listening to a local broadcast with Dick Burton, was the disc jockey. And he came on with a news bulletin that a small aircraft had just hit the World Trade Center. And somebody else that came in right after that and said, no, it was a 747. And he said, no, that can't be. That just can't be because things like that just don't happen. That the towers are so tall, and it's like a beautiful day because you could, like what he had just done the weather and that. He says it's a beautiful day. There's no way that could have happened. And then when the second plane hit, then they realized, and then the Pentagon was hit, and it was just, we knew we were under attack. Everybody stopped working. We were all glued to the TV. We were watching the TV, and it was just a sad, sad day. Then afterwards, which is even sadder for my company, we had people on the, I think it was the 58th floor. We lost just about everybody. And that, the company, I didn't know any of them personally, but I was part of a big company and we were just a branch here in, well, we were in Clinton Township, but we were just a branch of the whole corporation. And we handled workman's comp claims. And afterwards, we got a lot of claims, obviously, for workman's comp and things like that. And the thing that disgusted me the most about my company was we had one particular person that was on the floor that was able to get off. I think we at the time we had like 300 or 400 employees there, and I think maybe 50, 75 survived. They didn't listen to the warnings, like when they said the building is safe, you don't need to leave. They still left. And they were diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. And so they were filing a claim because they couldn't go back to work because they were so shaken by it. And shame on my company. Shame on them. They denied their claim. Maybe there was more into it than I know, but it was just a whole, like they call scuttlebutt, around the whole company. How disgusted we all were that you take care of your own. You just take care of your own. But anyway, on this day of remembrance, we want to remember all the people that lost their lives from many, many countries. And you know what? When they all died, nobody went and said only white people died or only black people died or only Mexicans died or only Chinese died or only Koreans died. They all died. And the people rescuing them, they didn't care what nationality or race or sexuality or anything they were. And that's just how we should live our everyday life. We should just know. People, judge people for who they are. Don't go by the color of their skin. Don't go by the sexuality that they are. I have no problems with talking to anybody. I get to know them. You might be homosexual and you're an asshole. Then you know what? I'm sorry, you're an asshole. And I don't care that you're a homosexual. You're just because you're an asshole. But you just have to get to know people. All people, there's white people that are racist. There's black people that are racist. I pride myself that in my family we're not. We accept people the way they are. And I've taught my children from a very early age. You get to know the person. Know the person first. You don't have to like them because they're white. You don't have to like them because they're black. You don't have to like them because they're homosexual or Mexican or Chinese or whatever. But you should take a chance to learn who they are. And I would hope that this experience of 9/11 taught us that, because everybody got together and digging through the debris to rescue people. And now all those people are still coming up with cancers and stuff, so they still need our prayers. They still need it. And I know, Debbie Downer. I'm going to stop saying Debbie Downer. I'm just going to stop saying that. It's just not fair to the Debbies out in the world. But, so anyway, if you get a chance today, say a silent little prayer for the people that were lost, the families that lost people, and the people that are still suffering even now. Now it's just, there's so much suffering in our world, and we just have to do what we can to make it a little bit better. So I'm not even going to ask you to like this video, because it's just, do you remember where you were on 9/11? Because I know I was. I know where I was.